part two, I just accidentally clicked a button and it stopped recording. So a lot of the food at the I'm not trying to complain. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the canned applesauce tastes good. Um, the canned vegetables taste good. They give meat. Usually the meat is expired, but it's frozen, so it's fine. What doesn't taste good is the instant potatoes. Because I had some from the Azure Marketplace, and they tasted amazing. And these potatoes, there's like just a weird taste. There's a weird flavor to them. And also the mac and cheese they give, the cheese sauce tastes weird. It doesn't taste right. Like it almost tasted a little bit like vomit. Like not a lot, just a little bit. So like I tried to make the cheese packet. I normally love these cheese packets, and I tasted it and I'm like, "Oh." And I gave it to the dog cuz I could not eat it. It tasted bad. It had like that acidity of like vomit. I'm not trying to complain cuz I'm going to eat this food. I'm going to eat this food, and they give you cans of chicken. So I'm not complaining about everything. Basically, they give you these cans of chicken. Those taste pretty good. I'm going to eat them. They give you lots of cans of vegetables. I'm going to eat it. They gave me a bread. My dogs got it and ate it. I had it way up, like 5 foot up on the middle of the table. They still got it and ate it when I left. So that was, I didn't get to eat any of it. So probably like I prayed to God to eat something healthy. And then I left after I dropped the food off. I went out again. When I came back, I saw the bread bag in the yard. The dogs had jumped up. I think one of the dogs, like my little one, she jumped up on the table probably and grabbed the bread bag. But it was way up there. And it was sealed. It hadn't been opened. So I think that was the Lord, like, looking out for me and making sure I didn't eat this bread. Because, I actually stopped wanting to eat bread like the last month or so at the soup kitchen. And I got a piece of bread and it had some mold on it. And after that, I didn't want to eat the bread anymore. And now I got this bag of bread and I looked and I didn't see an expiration date. And the bread looked fine. And I was planning to eat it that day. So when I left and came back, it was all gone. So this must be the Lord saying, I wanted to eat healthy. I'm not supposed to eat bread. I guess I'm not supposed to eat bread anymore. That's fine. Let's see what else is on here. But anyways, they do give a lot of good food. They gave me some pancakes I was trying to give away. Gave me like a thing of Reese's, not Reese's cups. There was another candy. It was another Reese's candy, which wasn't as good. But I was really happy to get this. It was a long container. It probably would have been $3 or $4. It was full of like little chocolate Reese's. It was called Fast Bites. But they didn't taste as good as their cups. I ate them all that day. I ate them all pretty quickly. They weren't as good as the cups. I don't want any other weird knockoff like... So if all of these candy companies make a whole bunch of different product lines, I don't want it. I just want the basic one, like the one that tasted good. So they make other types of candies now. That's like a new thing in the 2020s, and they don't taste as good. And I don't want that. I just want the regular. But anyways, I was really glad to have this. Even though it wasn't as good. It was maybe like 75% as good. I kind of ate it, and it just didn't taste quite right. But I still enjoyed it. That was so nice of them to give me that. They give this to everybody, and since I was there, like, people show up and there's a line, so you want to be there when it opens. So they might have had more things that were already gone by the time that I got there. But what I got... They gave me a roll of toilet paper, soup, eggs, fish, ground beef, pancakes, syrup, bread, a couple things of ramen, chocolate muscle milk, like, I'm sure there's more, but, it was a good variety, and some eggs. Oh, there's more. Let's see, fish, okay, yeah. Fish, eggs, Reese's candies, a milk, raisins, see. Yeah, there was a bread. Okay, I can't read my own writing. And as I was heading home, there was a portable dumpster, like the kind you rent. And it was a few blocks from my house. So there's a main road that I take to my house. Actually, my road. The road my house is on, a few blocks away. There was a big dumpster there. This is the kind that you rent from a business and they drop off. And then they come and pick up when you're done. It's not normally there. And the dumpster had a number on it. The number on the dumpster was 1217. 1217. There was no other dumpsters. Like, this was close to... You don't see this very often. So, this dumpster had just showed up within the past few days. I don't know exactly when. It was close to my house. These don't show up that often because somebody has to pay to have it delivered and then they pick it up. It had 1217. That was the number on the dumpster. And then somebody had written under the number. So there was a number on the side of the dumpster and on like the front of the dumpster. And I saw it. I was biking down the hill and the dumpster was like in the driveway. So I could see it right next to the sidewalk. Somebody had written under the number. And this isn't like chalk. I don't know what they wrote this with. It was on there. I don't want to say spray paint. Maybe it was paint or something. So under 1217, they wrote, Jesus love. Jesus love. And then on the other, so that was the side as I'm coming down the hill. And then when I went past it on the front, there was another, a 12. There was like the actual numbers, 12, I think there. And someone wrote disciples underneath. So I'm going down the hill and I pass this dumpster. So I see the front of it. There's a 1217. And somebody like, I think paints Jesus love. Because this wasn't coming off. And then as I go past it, there's a 12 on the front. And someone put disciples. Disciples underneath the 12. And then, as I got to my house, like at the end of my block, there was a bunch of fire trucks. Well, there was like 2 big fire trucks right there. I see these all the time. It's so weird. There wasn't a fire. They're just going out. Like, I think God uses this to, it has some meaning. And I don't know, I don't understand what the meaning is. But they were big ones, and there were 2 right next to each other. And like, I was at my house. They were pretty close. Right as I went by. I don't know what this means. I would like to know what fire trucks mean. I remember, like, I woke up and I was having this really exciting dream. The day before, I was having a real exciting dream, but I went back to sleep, and then I kind of, like, I know how I felt, but I couldn't really remember what was happening. And it could have been, like, fighting the enemy or going on an adventure, so that was going on. Okay. So, yeah, I picked up the food on the 22nd. Well, the 23rd. What even happened on the 20th? I don't even know. I didn't write it down. What happened yesterday? Oh, I did go to the gym. I ate some canned stuff. Making myself sick with this canned stuff. Yeah, I did go to the gym. I don't know if somebody was trying to get me or not. I wasn't really paying attention. I got rained on. I think that's what happened. And then it rained in the evening. There was an AA meeting. There was an NA meeting. And because it started raining, so I'm trying to remember what... I had planned to do a few things. It was starting to get late. So I left on my bike. And I went to the gym first. I wasn't there very long. When I left, I planned to go somewhere else. But it was too late. And then... yeah, I don't even remember. I don't remember. Okay, what happened today? Okay. When I woke up, I looked at my watch. I was laying on the couch bed, sleeping, looked at my watch, and it said, I believe. Because I looked at the seconds, but it was too dark to see. And then I pressed the light, and a couple seconds passed. But I believe that it was 11:17:52. So the seconds would be 52 seconds, which is 11:17:52. 52 seconds is a 7. 5 plus 2 is a 7. There was a 17 and an 11. And if I add up all of those numbers, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, if I add up all of the numbers on my watch, it would be a 17. And that's why I think that's what it was. Because I saw the seconds move a little bit, but it was too dark to make them out. Then I pressed it. So it was probably 11:17:52. But it was at least 11:17. And remember that on Wednesday, I got up, sat at my computer, and then it said 11:17. Oh my gosh, I was laying on the bed and looked at my watch. It said 11:17 again. I don't understand. Wow. I didn't know that until now because I was reading it. This is the same time as the day before, or 2 days before. So this is Friday. I had an appointment with Salvation Army to pick up food from there. And, and I prayed and I had asked God a few days ago, I need food, Lord. I'm not going to ask people. I need food to provide it for me. And I'm going to trust you. Well, then I had called Salvation Army. They said, you're due in on this day. And so I came in. Also, biking past, there's a slogan. There's like a sign at this church. And they put different sayings. Like before they put, be warmed by the sun. But this time, for the last couple weeks, I would say the slogan on this church billboard, which is on my road. This is the road I live on. There is a bunch of churches in my town. There's a church on every block, essentially. Maybe not quite, but there are so many churches here. I can't even believe it, how many churches. God has moved me to the church capital of the world or something. Now, if you look it up on the internet, it won't show up. But this is my observation. There are so many churches here, it's unbelievable. But anyways, on my road, there's another church with a sign, and it said, bloom where God plants you. And there's a candle holder that King Herod gave me. Oh, he gave me something, then he was probably allowed to break something of mine. Because I didn't know about curses when I was dealing with King Herod. I didn't know about curses. He brought me a candle holder. Something to decorate my house with when it was fixed. Well, it was just some cheap little candle holder, like something you'd find for 25 cents at a yard sale. But he gave it to me, and I still have it here. And it said, bloom where you are planted. And then, as I'm biking home, I remember that the current slogan on this church on my street says, bloom where you are planted. It's the same as this candle holder. So the candle holder has something written on it. It says, bloom where you are planted. So I wonder if this has something to do with King Herod. I don't know. I mean, because I never heard that saying before. Maybe it's a popular saying, but I had never heard it before. And they don't change the slogan too often. Maybe like once every month or so. Once every month or two or something. For them to pick this, it would take like years for them to come to this slogan. But this is the candle holder. It was given to me by King Herod. It's behind me. I could pick it up if I want to, but it's dusty, so I'm not going to bother. But maybe I'll put it on a future video. And I just had like a little stand, and he said, oh, I have something you can put on there that would look good. And he brought the candle holder. And so I don't know. Like, he seemed to like me a little bit. And maybe that was me being veiled. I didn't know. He probably didn't, but maybe he did after. I think he started to like me. Maybe he didn't in the beginning, and he was tricking me and pretending that he was lonely. He pretended he was lonely. He didn't have any friends. He wanted me to come over. And I could see he was acting. Like, I could see things that were weird. I could see him channeling. But I didn't expect the devaluation and discard. That's fine. But anyways, he gave me that. it didn't like hurt my feelings because really I didn't enjoy going to the church. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. And he didn't just give me a bunch of stuff either. Like if he took me out to eat, I tried to like get something, like buy a food or something and give it back to him, so I wasn't taking um. Okay, so I went to the Salvation Army this day. And they also, like, I had asked God for, and I mentioned, like, fresh fruit. I don't have any fresh fruit. I'd like some fresh fruit. I went to the Salvation Army, and then there's a table with free stuff on it that's separate from what you get to pick. And there was a big giant box of pears. A ton of pears. And I asked her, like, and I was being nice. And this woman that was in there, she was nice. And she works there. And I said, oh, did somebody bring in these pears? She brought in the pears. And I said, oh, that's great. Like, I was just wanting some fresh fruit because I didn't have any. And so you should take anything over there. And I got a bunch. I got like 10 or 20 of these pears or something. And I told her, I was like, me and my dogs are going to eat them. And that, and I wasn't trying to be wasteful. I said, like, the dog food is nutritionally balanced. But it's not the same as fresh. Like, so... But anyways, I got a bunch of pears, and this is a blessing from the Lord. Because normally, the food pantry does not have fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. They have shelf-stable, canned, and dry goods. They have things you can boil water. And so, like when I go, I don't even get the pasta. I don't even get any of that stuff because I'm not using my stovetop. My stove was broken by King Herod. The King Herod that gave me the planter, or a little candle holder. It says, bloom where you were planted, just like was on the sign for the church. So that when I go to the food pantry, I leave the pasta and the beans, the dry beans. I don't take it, because I'm not using my stovetop. Anyways, I'd asked God for healthy food and mentioned something about fresh fruit, and then there was a bunch of it. And she basically was like, you can take all of it. Take all, like just, well, I don't know what she said. She wasn't like excited, but she encouraged me to take as much as I wanted. And there was no limit. And so I took like a third of the pears, honestly. And I said, I better leave some for other people. And then I think she might have went over and taken a few back home because I told her that dogs love pears. So maybe she has a dog, I don't know, and took a couple for the dogs. But anyways, I did go to the gym. I brought my water. I had called Walmart yesterday. I called Walmart and I asked, do you have a water vending machine? Because the narcissist mentioned Culligan had a water vending machine. You put a quarter in, you can refill your gallon jugs of water. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that. I called Culligan. They said, oh, our machine's not working. And I asked, do you know any other places? And they mentioned a few other, and they mentioned Walmart. I called Walmart. And no one answered twice. And then I called again to the pharmacy, and then they went and asked, and then they said, yeah, there's a water vending by the front of the store. I don't know how much it is. So I called 3 times. Third time, I just clicked a bunch of numbers, and I ended up talking to someone in the pharmacy because no one else was answering. And they said there was water vending. So on my bike, I put my 2-gallon bottles they were empty. But I had purchased them at Walmart, and I was going to go refill them. And I go in, and there's like a greeter there. And I ask her about, like, you got water vending? Someone told me, I called. And she's like, no, I don't. There's water, but there's no vending. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go look. And so she wasn't being rude or anything at this point. So then I go, and there was no water vending machine. I went right where she said there was big bottles of Culligan water. But there was a water fountain right there. So I refilled my jugs with the water fountain for free. And actually, I tried to refill a jug at the gym, and the thing where you put in the bottle wasn't working. And I put it under there, and it didn't work. And a guy came up next to me trying to use the water, or he wanted to fill up his he had a bottle for water. And he was waiting. So I'm like, oh, go ahead. He tried to use it too. It wasn't working. So then I had to go to Walmart. And I went to Walmart. Now, I think maybe God is judging, like, what places will give me water. Because I really shouldn't be spending any money until I get some type of finances. So, because my plumbing is damaged, because there's a lot of problems at my house, now I have a water kettle Um, when I put water in the jug, I can refill the kettle. I can make instant coffee. I can make ramen noodles, things like that. So I need to get water. And I think God does all of this and is judging who will give me water. This is something, it is so inexpensive. It's less than a penny to refill the water. Like, if you think about your water bill, to refill a gallon of water, how much does this cost? And who will give me water when I need it? McDonald's did not. And I went into Walmart, and the woman's like, oh, we don't have dispensers. There's water up there. I said, well, I'm going to go look. And she wasn't upset at this point. Then I come back, and my water bottles are full. And then she looks kind of mad. She looks kind of mad, like a little bit. And I said, oh, I refilled them in the drinking fountain. And I said, somebody told me you had water vending here, or I wouldn't have brought these in. So I don't know what this is, because they have a water fountain, and in the back there's a thing to fill bottles. So, and it's big enough to fit my gallon jug. It's there to fill bottles, reusable bottles. So I did, and the greeter did not seem happy. She did not seem happy that I filled my water in the water fountain. So maybe I'll try the gym next time. Maybe I'll try the gym to see, because the water fountain like wasn't working right. So maybe I'll try that next time and just bring one. I don't know. But it's just, the woman wasn't mean, but like, this is how bad the state of the world is. This is Walmart. And they have a drinking fountain. And there's a part of the drinking fountain where you place a reusable bottle. And I already purchased this gallon at Walmart, and I was going to refill it. And I was going to pay money. And I called, and they told me there was a water vending machine there. I was going to pay my quarter and refill it. Wasn't there. So I put it on the water fountain. They make me feel like a criminal to refill. Like, do you want me to throw the jug in the trash? I don't have money. So, here I am. I've got God. But I'm saying is, I don't have any humans to help. I have no friends or family to help. No one cares. It's only enemies. I have the Lord. So I think God does render judgment through me. God does render judgment through me. But, I think, like, I have to suffer. I always have to suffer because normally people attack me, and it's not so easy to get water. Even though it's a water fountain, for me to go up to it, there's no law that says I can't refill it, but, I mean, at Walmart, why would they even care? I mean, really, they shouldn't care. They used to be like, we'll take everything back. But now, like, they look at me like I'm a criminal because I'm going to refill my water jug in the drinking fountain. So, maybe I should try it again to see what happens. I'll try it again to see what happens. And if they kick me out for this, then God will judge Walmart. That's the only thing I can think. So anyways, the woman that offered to give me her sweets, and I was like, oh, thank you. That's an answer to my prayer. And she mentioned, oh, I got sweets and I got pickled beets. And I'm like, oh, I like pickled beets. And I did not complain about the food at all or anything. But that night, when it was late, I mentioned something to God. I'm like, well, Lord, this isn't healthy. I was hoping to get healthy. If this is what you want me to eat, I will. But, I don't want to be greedy or unappreciative. I was just wanting food, not pancakes and sugar. And not, like sweets. But actual food. But I said, and I kind of got mad thinking about these pancakes, because somebody just gave me pancake mix the day before, and I made like a third of it, and I was eating, like, I just mixed it with water, and I was eating it, and then I got sick. Like, I started to feel gross. And then they gave me more pancakes. And then she offered, I got a lot of pancakes. Some are made, some aren't, she was wanting to give this to me. And then she said she would. Don't hear back from her. 2 days later, or no, wait, this is Tuesday. So I get a text today, which is Friday. And she said, I'm giving it to somebody else. She said, so I don't have the text open now. But basically, because I said her giving me the food was an answer to a prayer, They were going to try to get me. They were going to try to get me. And so one way to get me was it to make it look like God is a liar. And that, this was the answer to a prayer. So I'm going to give the food. I said I was going to give it to you. Now I'm giving it to someone else. I think that's it. But actually, this is good because I didn't want to eat a bunch of sugar. I was trying to get a little bit healthier. A little bit healthier. And, anyways, but she said, oh, someone else said they'd take everything in my freezer, everything in my fridge, and clear it all out. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't say anything back. Because I'm assuming this isn't an attack, because I just told her, like, I'm not supposed to go to the soup kitchen. I don't think I'm supposed to go to the soup kitchen anymore. And I just prayed to God and asked, like, I said, I just prayed to God and said, Lord, you know I need food. And I'm not going to ask. And so I just told her this, and she was surprised. She was surprised that her offering me, because she asked a bunch of other people and no one wanted it. Then she asked me, and she was surprised that I had prayed this, and her offering was an answer to a prayer. So she actually works for the other side. She works for the other side, whether she will, I don't know if she knows her. I think she's a witch, probably, but I don't know. Like, maybe not using magic, but working with other witches, if that makes sense. I don't think she uses magic or anything like that. But I think that she works with them and is an enemy, but has pretended to be a friend. Anyways, she messaged me back and said she was giving it all to someone else, since I only said I said that I liked the pickled beets. But really, there was somebody in the middle of us, and I said, oh, thanks, and then we talked for a minute, but there was like a group going on, so it wasn't a time to have a big long conversation, and there was a guy in the middle, so it wasn't like not being unappreciative. But then later that night, like 12 hours later, I'm like, Lord, this actually isn't very healthy to get all the sweets. That's actually not very healthy. I was hoping for some healthy food, but if you want me to eat this, I will. If this is like the manna thing, I'll eat it. It's just that it's a bunch of sugar. And so she took it back, and then I got food at 2 food pantries. I got a bunch of canned stuff, and no, it doesn't really taste good, but I'm gonna eat it. I got potatoes. Actually, they got some frozen meat, so I got hamburger stuff. I got a frozen fish. I got ground beef. I got a bunch of canned vegetables. I like the canned fruit is good. I got a thing of Reese's cups. Oh, the one I went to today, they give me peanut butter. I don't like peanut butter, but my dogs do. I actually ate for lunch today. I ate like half a thing of peanut butter with jelly. They had like jelly, and I squeezed it into the peanut butter, and like, this isn't healthy. This isn't healthy, but anyways, I don't really like it, but it was food. It was food. And the ingredients weren't, it said no high fructose corn syrup. It just had red 40 in it. Maybe that's why it was donated, because they're cracking down on red 40. But anyways, it actually, like, I don't like peanut butter, but for what it was good peanut butter, and the jelly had a good taste. So I was happy to have that food to eat. As God keeps me poor, so I have to rely on public assistance, and I've been used to judge all of these groups. But there's a few for homeless people, like, where they can live, and I haven't been able to go to those, so I don't know. Oh, and then I played, okay, here's what it was. So I got the water refilled at Walmart, and then when I left, I was only in there a couple minutes, and the woman there was not happy that I refilled the water in the water fountains. Were you going to go get your security? But anyways, then I leave, and I notice there's, like, the concrete has got raindrops all over it. And there's rain clouds in the sky. And I don't know, it wasn't, like, raining right at that moment, but it started to sprinkle. And, I'm headed home, and then it starts raining hard. And then I get drenched. I'm getting soaked. Like, I'm all wet. I gotta take my clothes off and put new stuff on at home and get more things dirty. So I get back, and I take my time. I'm looking for something else to wear that, I don't like that much because I didn't have a bath in a while. But this outfit is soaking wet. It's cold. Like, it was hot outside, but it's just gross. And I'm also dirty. And then, like, the rain cleaned me a little bit. But now the clothes are wet. And so I find something else to wear. And when I'm done, I sit down at my computer. Also went upstairs in the closet, and I found the socks that the devil had bought me when we were together. So I was a stay-at-home mom. I was fake married to the devil for more than 20 years. Well, he had bought me some socks. And so then I went through and I found the socks that he had purchased for me, and I brought them down too. I was just looking for do I have underwear? Do I have socks? Do I have stuff like this? Do I have, and then after I get changed, I sit down and it's 8:17. 8:17. So I wasn't looking at the time. And then I finally get dressed and I sit down at my computer. It's 8:17. 7 plus 1 plus 8 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So it has a 7 and a 17. And then I play a YouTube video. And then I pull up the solitaire so I can play solitaire on my computer while I watch the YouTube video. And then I win the round. And it says, I beat the game in 1 minute and 17 seconds. 1 minute and 17 seconds. Yep. So, 1:17. 7, 8, 9, which adds up to a 9. And also, if I had the 8:17 is a 7. 7 plus a 9 is another 16. 1 plus 6 is a 7. If I add these two numbers up, it's another 7. So, I sat down, I looked, it was 8:17 p.m. Then I pulled up YouTube, played a solitaire, and it says, you won in 1 minute and 17 seconds. And I saw it, and I clicked next, like to play again. And then, but I saw it, and I'm like, I should have screenshotted it. Well, my testimony, I don't lie. This is the truth. Like, there are more numbers and things I've seen that are significant, more signs. I can't remember them all off the top of my head. I had a lot of exciting dreams the past couple days. I can't remember. I don't remember what's going on here. But, okay, so then it was raining. I'm wet. There's an hour before this NA meeting. And I was thinking a little bit, like, am I supposed to go to this? I wasn't really planning on it, but in my mind I thought, well, I could go. And then it starts pouring down rain, and that's the sign from the Lord. Go home, stay home. So I did not go. I've been, a lot of April showers. I've been, like, staying in my home. There's still a little bit of burn left. It's mostly gone. It's almost all the way gone. So once that's gone, maybe God allows and controls everything. So if I had burns on my face, then I thought, I'm staying at my house until this recovers. It doesn't look very good. And it's not that it's ugly. It's like, I'm out there doing work for the Lord. And when I have a wound, then that's not the best reflection of me or God. So I don't want to look weak or like I've been attacked or someone has got me when I go out. And I also had stabbed my palm. If you guys remember, that when that happened, it was like Monday. You see, like, there's still a little burn, but it's mostly gone. It's mostly gone now. So I think on Monday, maybe it was over the weekend, I don't remember. So it's been quite many days, and the stab is still there on my hand. So, let's see. I got a flashlight here. Whoa. So I don't remember what day it was. Um, it could have been. It could have been on the weekend. At the latest, it was Monday. So it's still like that. And see, there's still a little damage here. It was. There's still a little damage here, but it's almost gone. So maybe within a couple days it'll be all good. Um, but see, the stab mark is still on my hand. So I still have a burn. I have a burn and a stab. Okay. Okay. Um. Anyways, I think my sound is better now because I figured something out. Um. This cheap Temu webcam actually has two cords that come off of it. One is for the video and one is for the microphone. So I was able to just plug in the video, and then my old conference recorder, like it's a microphone shaped like a triangle, that has a better sound. So I actually plugged in a separate microphone. So I've got the cheap Temu camera and a microphone that I already had. But really, I should probably get rid of it because the devil got this for me, so I should probably get a different one. Um, yeah, I should get a different one at some point. But for now, I'm not spending money on stuff, so um, I eat a bunch of stuff. My dog. Oh, I forgot about this. I gotta write this down. This is what happened yesterday. So, people had sprayed. The enemy came and sprayed skunk spray on my big boy, my dog. And it was like irritating his neck. And then this collar was put on him. This collar was made by the devil. It was made with this really thick, like military grade cording, like strap. It's like that. It's like that thick, and it's like stronger than a seatbelt, and it's thicker, and it's got Velcro on it. And then there's a military buckle on it. Witchcraft was used, because I've taken it off before. Now, when I needed to take this off, it was seized, and it would not open. It was jammed. And I think the skunk spray got into the locking mechanism, and that jammed it. This is all witchcraft. And then, he's still not smelling great, but like this spray, what was sprayed on him went on his collar. And so that wasn't washing off. And it was irritating his neck, and he was like oozing, and it looked like maybe some blood or something. And I tried to get it off, and then he ran away. And like I tried to get scissors or something, he runs away. This is a Saint Bernard that is more than 100 pounds. Like he's a Saint Bernard pit bull. And so I could not get it off. And then actually yesterday, his neck is worse. I got an email from a pet store saying that in a week they're going to have a promotion. You bring in your old collar, you get 40% off a new collar. This was my sign. Today I try again. Because then he gets afraid and he tries to run away when I come near. I don't want him afraid of me. He's the love of my life. He's the most important thing in my life right now. And, he was smelling bad, and I'm still trying to hug him and rub his back and just, like, to keep certain things, keep his neck area off of me. But, Then I was able to get a little tiny box cutter and to pretend that I didn't have it and to rub his back a little bit. And then I asked God, like, God help, God help. And then, this collar was so thick, I could not get it off. Like, and I kept cutting it. I was like sawing it with this little box cutter, and it's got like a blade on it. And I had to do this for several minutes. And I said, God help. And then I have to keep rubbing his back to make him think he's getting a back rub. And then he doesn't see the box cutter. But like, I had to try. And then saw it and twist it, and finally it came off. He normally runs away, but maybe an angel had calmed him down so he would stay still, and I was able to get it off. And he is actually healed, and I prayed God to heal him. I put my hands on him. He has healed a lot. In the last day, like, it's not oozing anymore. That's all good now. It's like, and by the next day, this was on Wednesday night. So the next day, then he's jumping and he's prancing and he's play fighting with more energy than I've seen him have in a while. So he's doing a lot better, and he's just healed a lot. And I'm trying to make him happy and giving him like some canned beans and some noodles that I soaked in water, and just, they didn't really like it. A can of vegetables, and I got pears, and I'm just trying to give him things and make him happy, because he's been unhappy because of what these witches and warlocks did to him. What they did to him. And I try to take such good care of my dogs, and I get blocked. I get my money stolen, I get my house damaged, my hose is broken, I can't use the bathtub, I can't wash the dogs, I can't get the collar off, I can't drive them to a vet, I can't drive them to a pet store. They would use this to have my dogs taken away, when they are well cared for and they get a lot of attention. But it's all the attacks that are done against us. And despite that, like, I try my best for these animals. They would not be doing as well anywhere else, and they're also difficult. Large animals and wily animals, but I think I'm one of the best pet owners in the world, honestly. And it's just because the devil has been attacking me so much, and no one will help. No church will help. No person will help. But they will come after and they will attack me. So, anyways, he is naked now. Like, he really looks naked without a collar. But I'm waiting. And the thing was, it says, this promotion starts in a week. So that's making me think, like, I cut this off now. Then he needs a week for his neck to completely heal. And then he'll be ready for a new collar to go on. Because, like, after just one day, it's, like, not oozing anymore. And it's probably going to be great and completely healed up in a week. So, and this isn't me. Someone came to my property and sprayed skunk spray on my dog, and it soaked. There was a bunch of it gunked into his collar, and it was right up on his neck. And I couldn't get the collar off. And this collar was made military grade. He's afraid of scissors. He's afraid of nail clippers. He's afraid of box cutters. And he runs away. This dog weighs more than 100 pounds. And like, really upsets me, because I just want to hold him in my arms and love him, and I can't. And I said, out of all the things that these witches and warlocks have done, this is one of the worst things they have done. Because this dog is the love of my life, and I have not been able to spend as much time with him since he was sprayed with skunk spray. So this is awful. I'm waiting my restoration. I'm waiting for my restoration, but this was a blessing. I think God also answered my prayer. I asked, help. And so, like, while I was cutting it, and I had to go a long time, this collar is so strong. This was made to be as strong as possible so it would not come off. And I clearly see this was an attack. This was a long game. I have to experience what the prophets before have experienced. They have had loss. They have lost family members. They have lost pets. So I have to go through that too. But to get this off and to see him, and he's just doing a lot better. He was still healthy, even despite this, but he wasn't at his best, is what I'm saying. And he's getting back there. I mean, everything they do to us, I will protect these dogs with my life, but God won't allow me to die. So what I'm saying is that they are very important to me. And people are important to me too. But it turns out that all of them betrayed me and none of them cared about me. So, so I guess my dogs are where I focus. Like, I'm going to protect my dogs. And I would protect and help someone else. But there's really no one else. It's me and God and my dogs. There's no one else here. So, I give them the best life I'm able to. And it makes me feel bad that the kingdom of darkness has attacked me. More than 40 years, they have attacked me. And all of the good things I wanted to do for them, they have stopped, they have sabotaged, and wrecked. So, anyways, it's after midnight. Maybe I'll go out tomorrow. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I didn't make up my mind. I didn't make up my mind yet, so thanks for watching.